And we are rolling on the second day of September at UCLA in Los Angeles, where it's again a beautiful day. We're about to hear from Brianna, who's going to share with us and persuade us.
Hi, my name is Brianna.
Hi, Brianna.
Al Gore once said that when he was looking to change his diet, he wanted to choose a diet that he felt would best give him the best chances at living a long life. It's with that in mind that I would like to persuade you today to adopt a vegetarian diet. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons and some actions and benefits that will follow if you are to adopt my proposal. A vegetarian is someone who doesn't eat any meat products, but often vegetarians also don't eat dairy or eggs either. Vegetarians eat a wide array of foods, grains, seeds, nuts, fruits, vegetables, and others. Having a vegetarian diet has a lot of benefits. They are for yourself, for your environment, and obviously for the animals that aren't going to be eaten. But today I'm going to talk to you about the benefits for yourself and for the environment. So the first reason that I'd like to persuade you to adopt a vegetarian diet is because vegetarian diets have been shown to have several benefits in reducing the risk of people contracting various health conditions, many of which are major killers in this country today. According to Brown University researchers, a vegetarian diet can decrease your chances of developing heart disease, several cancers including colorectal cancer and ovarian cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity. This is really important to me because 2 of the things that I just listed off are actually the top killers in this country today. That's cancer and heart disease. So hopefully if more people were to be open to adopting a vegetarian diet, we might be able to reduce the amount of people that are dying from preventable disease. The second reason that I'd like to persuade you to adopt a vegetarian diet is because a vegetarian diet is part of efforts to reduce the climate change and environmental impact of a meat diet, or not a meat diet, but an omnivorous diet. So my evidence from this comes from an article that was written for The Guardian in 2010 that explained that the UN had actually begun urging people to adopt a meat-free and dairy-free diet in the interest of maintaining their health, but also working to better the environment. The article explained that animal products are actually cause more damage to the environment than producing construction materials, and that animal byproducts and crops raised for animals and biomass are just as damaging as fossil fuels. So this is really important to me because our rapidly changing climate is something that's happening due to our own habits, and so if we are all able to, or at least the majority of us are able to change our diet, then we would be able to curb that and hopefully create an environment that we can pass down for generations so that they can continue to live full and healthy lives. So I'm going to give you guys some concrete actions that you can take if you're interested in adopting a vegetarian diet. For one, you could slowly begin to decrease the amount of animal products that you consume. If you do it slowly, you're more likely to stick with it. Secondly, you could encourage your family to eat more vegetarian meals. If you do so, obviously you're going to help to prevent more people dying or falling ill with preventable disease, like I discussed. Lastly, you might want to consider integrating with your new vegetarian diet a workout routine that has a lot of cardiovascular exercises in it so that you are able to further reduce the risk of developing those preventable diseases I spoke about. And hopefully, if you do this and all goes as hoped, you will feel better and live a longer life. In summary, I've told you 2 reasons why you should adopt a vegetarian diet and some actions and benefits to follow if you were to do so. There should be no doubt in this room that you should adopt a vegetarian diet. And just like Al Gore, hopefully we can all do this and live longer lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's start on this side of the room today.
I'm Alicia.
Alicia.
I really like that everything was broken down really well, and you contribute like enough time to each topic. And so yeah, it was just really easy to follow.
Easy to follow. Improvement.
Hi, I'm Sierra.
Hi, Sierra.
Good job as well. The only thing I improve is maybe like instead of saying verbatim the facts that you got from your articles, you can say it in a more conversational way so you can remember it.
Yeah. Okay, let me focus in on your presentation. Relax your knees. You can be by your side. Well, gosh. It's a pretty daunting task to ask people to become vegetarians, as you know. It's a persuasive challenge. People like their meat, for the most part, and so you're pretty up against it. And I think one of the things I would have done would have been to sort of find out why people don't want to become vegetarians and address some of that stuff. They'll be weak, they'll get sick, they won't have strength. All of it is false, I think. But those are some of the beliefs that people have that keep them eating meat, and keep that habit going. You started off with definitions so people knew what you were talking about, and I thought that was effective. Your first quote from Brown University researchers, you didn't date it. And we want to have dates to have oral. Remember, folks, put in the dates of your quotes. If you don't have the dates in now, write them in now. So your evidence, you orally date your evidence as well as saying where it from, so it has more credibility. You said you feel strongly about this. It would have been helpful if you had some personal story about it. You become a vegetarian, a friend, a mother, or somebody got cancer, something, that brought you more emotion and passion into it. On your second reason, you went to the climate change, and I thought it was a little bit of a stretch, but I know the Guardian says that, this is all part of the grand plan, that, biomass and the cows are giving off the gas and so forth, and it's all part of the grand plan, and so it was perfectly acceptable evidence and perfectly acceptable argument to make. Your concrete actions I thought were good. I liked the fact that you said slowly reduce the amount of animal products that you are ingesting, and I thought that was good. And when you perform these actions, you said you'll have a longer and better life. I would have elaborated on that a little bit more. Your canai was said, don't turn completely when I walk. Don't use too many unnecessary hand gestures, and maintain eye contact with my audience. How did it go, Brianna?
I think the first two I did better. Like I didn't turn all the way when I moved.
Right.
And I didn't use as many hand gestures, but I don't think I did my eye contact as well as I could have.
Right, and I think when you're over there, I think you want to glance over here and give them a little working too. I also think, I just want to caution you, because I noticed you thought you were excessive in your hand gestures. Be careful of pulling back too much and seeming to be kind of robotic and not giving enough. Try to see if you can find a natural medium. How could this speech become more sticky? I think it was simple enough. Become a vegetarian. What was unexpected in here? What was unexpected that grabbed my audience, that grabbed your audience, that made them perk up and want to listen more? What made them perk up and want to listen more? What did you design in unexpected?
Well, I was hoping that my facts were going to do that.
Yeah.
I was hoping that the facts, that connecting it with climate change and stuff is a little unexpected. Not everyone knows.
That was a little bit of a new twist, I guess. Okay. And then I think the other thing is that, as I already pointed to, your credibility could have been enhanced with the dates, knowing that it was recent evidence and it was good evidence. That helps your credibility. The emotions could have been stronger, and more personal stories from you. You're a vegetarian, it's helped you, it's changed your life. It would have been useful to hear from you. A personal story would have been good. Overall, you did a good job. You got it done. Thank you.
Can I go?
No, I didn't call on you. Next will be, let's start at the bottom of the alphabet this time. Let's go with Rui Zhang. Who's that? Rui Zhang? Z-H-A-N-G? Absent? Who's Rui Zhang? No Zhang? Okay, good. How about Matthew Williams? Yeah. Here for Matthew. He's that trusty green stapler of mine, yes. Hey, Matthew. Okay, Matthew, you're tall, so let me adjust my trusty camera. Yeah, you can take a half step forward. You don't have to cleave the wall, but ooh, boy, you are tall. Okay. See if that'll give me some flexibility, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Matthew stands before you managing attention. Everyone have their computers away. They're not reading. They're not texting Rita. Yeah, thank you. Communicating respect non-verbally to everybody in the room, saying your mantra. I really respect my audience. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Alright, what's the point of being able to speak if you have to keep secrets? That's what Donkey once said in Shrek, and I think that perfectly expresses what I'm here to tell you all about today. I'm here to tell you guys that I want you to speak your mind freely and openly without hesitation, as it's a lot better, and if you follow my reasons and follow my action plan, then I think it'll benefit you a lot. First off, if you speak freely and without hesitation, it'll reduce stress, therefore making you healthier. Being healthier comes from lack of dishonesty, which is what creates all that stress. Second reason that I want you to speak freely and without hesitation is that it
Increases your reliability and dependability.
It increases your reliability and dependability, as people will see you as being more credible if you just speak freely and you don't say just what they want to hear. As a lot of people fear saying things that will hurt others, that's just something that holds you back, and you can't be doing that because then you're misrepresenting yourself. In doing so, I think that you should, one,
don't rush what you say.
Don't rush what you say, but don't overthink it either. You have to speak, think it through clearly, but not overthink it and think what other people want to hear. Secondly,
don't always protect others' feelings.
Yeah, you can't protect others' feelings, because when you protect others' feelings, you're not speaking about what you believe. You're not saying what you feel. You must say what you feel. And lastly, you must...
don't say just what the other person wants to hear.
Last, don't say what you want other people to hear, as people are always saying what others want to hear just to try to get on their side and get them to believe them, when that's not really how you feel. And
benefits? The benefits of you following this proposal will be what? stamp it out. Just tell us what good will come of it.
It's just all blank. The benefits are that, man, I can't remember. I don't know.
Okay, how about summarizing then?
I don't know.
Conclusion? Tie back?
So in conclusion, if you do all these things, you'll be healthier. I don't know.
Healthier? Can you tie back to the donkey quote?
I mean, we're supposed to speak honestly. We're not supposed to lie. And when we lie, like, we're keeping secrets. I don't know.
Okay, thank you, Matt. 302. Okay, we're here. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn.
I think we're really hoping it was just your quote in the beginning because I didn't expect the quote to be projected. But
Yeah.
Improvement.
You definitely could have.
Name.
Oh, hi, I'm Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
You definitely could have just memorized your speech.
Yeah.
You could have what?
Memorized.
Practiced it more extemporaneously, not memorized. But yes, we don't memorize speeches. Well, Matt, gosh, you needed to practice more. You needed to lay out and memorize the schema, the 7 parts of a storytelling pattern, so that you tell us what you're going to tell us, a beginning, a middle, and an end. I think you had a good message, and you tried to give us 2 reasons and some actions. We need to have some benefits that would come if we follow this, a summary, a conclusion, and tie back. Also, part of the assignment was to have some research and to have a bibliography. Your goals were to move 3 times during the speech. Don't fidget with your hands, and to speak slowly and clearly. How'd it go?
I mean, the speech was pretty terrible.
What now?
I mean, I didn't really give the speech, so.
Yeah, okay, well, you got it done. You got it through. You did something, and thank you very much. Okay, that will bring us to Kimberly. Is there Kimberly? Kimberly Velasco. Oh, okay. Let's go to Rita. Lovely Rita. She finally gets her chance.
Yeah. This is with the extra credit, and then
Extra credit, yeah, we love extra credit. Okay, let me get you focused, Rita. Yeah, I gotta move the camera for you. You can take a step forward, Rita. Yeah, good. Good. Rita stands before you, managing attention, communicating respect non-verbally. Okay, she's reading back there. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your mantra. I respect my audience. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi guys, I'm Rita.
Hi, Rita.
Every single day, 28 people die due to drunk driving in the United States alone. That's as if like everyone in this classroom died at the end of the day. And so today I want to encourage you guys to not drink and drive. I know this will be relevant to you guys because we're at a place and at the age where a lot of alcohol is available and we just need to be careful. So today I will give you 2 reasons and 3 actions you can take to prevent drunk driving.
Good.
The first reason is that drunk driving will most likely lead to fatal accidents. My support for this is according to the Mothers Against Drunk Driving website. In 2013, 10,000 people died that year due to drunk driving. And I feel strongly about this issue because of a personal experience. So it was September of last year. I was just sitting at home, watching TV, and I went on to my social websites like Facebook and Instagram, and I started seeing like rest in peace and heartfelt sayings posted on 5 of my high school classmates' like web pages. Like confused, I do some research, and surely I find out that 5 of them had died due to drunk driving. And this was only exactly 1 year after another 5 died. So in total, 10 people from my high school just died due to drunk driving. I mean, I'm still, as you can tell, I'm still like, I can't believe it. Like, these were people I used to sit and like talk with. Like, how? So the point is just,
Right.
it will lead to death. Like, it will. The second reason that you should not drink and drive is because even if it doesn't lead to death, it will lead to an injury. My support for this is, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2013, every 2 minutes, someone got injured due to drunk driving. Imagine looking at someone's face and just like knowing you're the reason that caused them to be paralyzed for the rest of their lives. I mean, how? And you might think, oh, like 10,000 people per year, or like every 2 minutes, it's not a big deal, you know? Like, there are other things that cause more severe damages. But the problem is, drunk driving is 100% preventable. And now I will tell you guys 3 ways you can do that. First, you can designate a driver. If you know you're going to go out and drink, have one of your friends be the designated driver, where that night they will not drink. They will be the one to drive everyone to their house safely. Second, let's say you want to go out, you all want to drink. That's completely fine. You can, I mean, we're in a world where there's so many resources. You can call Uber, Lyft. They're cheap and you don't need cash, so it's so safe. Lastly, but most importantly, don't let your friends drive while drunk. I mean, either you find them someone who's sober to drive them, or let them like sleep over or something. So today I've told you guys 2 reasons why why you should not drink while driving, sorry, and then 3 actions that you can take. There should be no doubt in this room that you guys should not drink and drive, because you never know if in the next 51 minutes you or someone you love will die due to drunk driving. Thank you.
Thank you. 340. Somewhere here.
Hi, I'm Angela.
Hi, Angela.
I really love your speech, and you give some statistics which make your speech really persuasive.
Yes. Thank you, Angela. Improvement.
Hi, I'm George.
Hi, George.
Hi, George.
I love your examples and statistics, but I think maybe you should stand more on the left side, or no longer just to stay on the right side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I contact that both sides are both important.
Okay.
Thank you.
Treat all your children equally. Good. Well, gosh. Rita, really a good topic. Let me get you focused in. Really good topic, and well argued and researched. You started with an arresting fact, so you grabbed us, you drew us in, and you made us want to listen. So that was good. You had a simple topic: don't drink and drive. This preview was right on track. Your first reason: you're going to die. Well, it's against drink driving, and you cited the year. Good job. 2013. A lot of people die. Compelling evidence. Then you added the emotions of a story of 5 and then 10 of your classmates that perished because, of stupidity, People can't find another way to have fun. Like all the losers are grooving, right? One thing I would say, and I want you to watch this tonight on YouTube, and don't take this wrong, but you sometimes smile when you're talking about death and things, and I know it's just
I tend to smile a lot.
Yeah, I know you have a nice smile, but you know, or whatever. You know, be careful about, you know, be a consistent verbal and nonverbal message. On your second reason, injury, it was good. Your actions were consistent with your arguments. You skipped the benefits, and they could have been expanded. You only had one sentence. There are a lot of benefits to not drinking and driving, and you know, abstaining from alcohol, you know, etc., etc. Your summary, your conclusion, and tieback were fine. I didn't see an APA bibliography here. Is it somewhere? Do you have it in your, among your goods? You were required to have a bibliography. Is it somewhere?
For the citations?
For the citations, yes.
No.
No, okay.
I can bring it in.
Your goals were to stick to the outline more, relax your hand movements, and deliver the speech more smoothly. How did it go?
Well, other than the benefits section.
Yeah.
That I skipped. And then movements, yeah, I realized like I was more on to this side. I didn't really, like I took one step this way and then I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. You know what to do about that, right?
Yeah.
As far as making the speech stickier for the future, what did you put in here that was sort of unexpected, that woke up your audience and grabbed them, made them listen a little bit more?
I would say like the analogy of like like that's when the first introduction, I was like, that's as if everyone in this room died at the end of the day. I think that
Yeah.
reminded, and then also like the fact that 10 of my high school
Okay.
classmates.
And so you consciously thought that to be
Yeah.
unexpected. Good. Your credibility, I thought, was argued well. There was nothing too abstract, and you had a good amount of story. So this was a sticky speech. Thank you, except for the benefits. You did a good job. Thank you. Yes, uh-huh. Okay, now we'll hear from Alexandra. No Alexandra? Alejandra, sorry. Alejandra. Sorry, I can't read. You need my green stapler, huh? Nice bibliography. Good self-evaluation. Okay, let me get you focused. She stands before you. She's drinking, managing attention, communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes near the front and center. She's reading. Say your name. Feel the love. Undo your hands. Start your speech.
So hi everyone, I'm Alexandra.
Hi, Alejandra.
So in the spring, I was going through a really hard time in terms of like body image, and I would obsessively count calories and obsessively go to the gym, and was caught in this very unhealthy cycle that I really was frustrated with and needed to find a solution for. And I feel that I did. So today I want to persuade you to think about considering a vegan lifestyle, which, as Brianna kind of talked about, it's a completely animal product-free lifestyle. So I will present you with 2 reasons why you should consider this and some actions and benefits that will follow if you adopt my proposal. I think this is really important because people don't realize the damage that animal products do to your body and the amazing benefits in terms of ethical benefits, environmental, and health. So the first reason that I want to persuade you to think about living this lifestyle is because animal products are not made for human consumption. I know that there are a lot of food industries that will try to convince us that it's healthy. For example, like the Got Milk campaign tells us that milk makes our bones stronger. But in 2010, Dr. Hyman wrote that that countries with the highest amount of dairy consumption are also the countries with the highest amount of bone fractures and osteoporosis. And the opposite is true for countries who don't consume as much dairy. And I feel that this is really important because I don't think it's fair that these food industries are lying to us at the cost of our health and the pain and suffering of other living creatures. So the second reason that I think you should consider a vegan lifestyle is because of the small everyday benefits to your life. There are so many, but one of them that I think that we can relate to is fighting fatigue. In this year, Dr. McDougall, who's a very famous vegan doctor, wrote in his website that the main reason of fatigue in young people is a lack of carbohydrates in the diet, because instead we are told, first of all, that that's bad for you and that you should cut carbs, but also the increased animal products, which are high in fat, make us slow and sluggish. And I feel really strongly about this because I know what it's like to be lazy and not have energy and not have a reason for it. But really there is a very clear reason for the lack of energy and ways to prevent it. So now that I've shared with you these two reasons you should consider this lifestyle, I want to present you some things you can do to follow it. So first of all is to be open and think about it. I know that it's a very controversial thing, but you should think about how it could personally benefit you, whether that's weight loss, even weight gain, or fighting depression. Secondly, you should do your research about how to properly follow a lifestyle like this, because it's really possible to be a junk food vegan and be equally unhealthy as anyone else. And lastly, you should take the first step, and whether that's just cutting one animal product like milk or completely cutting animal products, don't be afraid to take that first step. And after you do this, you will experience immediate benefits as well as lifelong health. So in conclusion, I've shared with you two reasons why you should consider a vegan lifestyle. So there really should be no doubt in this room that this is something that could be beneficial for everyone. And now I've only been vegan for about 4 months, so I'm really new to this, but I have seen a lot of differences in my health and in my strength, but I think the most important thing is my happiness and the level of energy that I feel to live every day. Thank you.
411.
Hey, I'm Ian.
Hi, Ian.
I thought your hook and tieback were really great. The hook pulled me in, and then I liked your concrete actions a lot too. Like how you told people to research and not be a junk food vegan. I like that too.
Yeah, there's a certain respect for people's integrity of think for yourself. Research yourself. Don't just do it, but research it and see if it's right for you. So that's a good approach for an educated audience. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Regan.
Hi, Reagan.
I think the only one thing you have to improve is you can emphasize something you think important for the audience. I think a powerful voice or a short pause can be useful.
Yeah, Reagan makes a good point. You have sort of a delivery that has a certain sameness to it. And you'll want to work on vocal variety. Louder, softer, faster, slower. And that's more interesting to listen to, Alexandra. Let's talk about your speech. You started and ended with a very personal declaration, and I found that very compelling. I, for a moment, was worried that you were going to tell me that you were bulimic or something even more serious, and I've had that happen in my courses, and it's not fun. It's very sad. It's a very serious disease. Your thesis preview and your SIG statement were good. Your first reason, and you cited the got milk as an example of a manipulative campaign, was one that everyone could know about and relate to. You cited Dr. Hyman in 2010. Who is Dr. Hyman? We don't know. So you need to qualify your sources to give them credibility. You did that for Dr. McDougall in 2015. You said he was a leading nutritionist. That was better. I like the way at the end of each segment you put in your emotions. I felt strongly about this, and so you made your speech stickier by putting in your feelings about the subject, not just at the end, which was very effective, but as you went along. On your concrete actions, I like them. I especially like, as I said, the second one about allowing people to think for themselves. And the third one of moderately eating one less slab of beef a week or something was, moderate. The people stand up and say, I want you to cut out all beef, all meat immediately. They're deluding themselves. It's not going to happen. Your benefits were good, your summary, your conclusion. And I thought your tie back, I would have liked to have a little bit more, but your tie back of the benefits that have come to you from making this lifestyle change were very compelling. As far as making the speech stickier, what was unexpected?
I think that I shared like a personal part of me.
Me?
And then
Okay.
also like the facts. I think a lot of people know about like environmental or ethical reasons, but I don't think people realize like something like the Got Milk campaign.
Okay, good. Overall, you did a nice job, Alejandra. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to Jared.
My bibliographies.
What?
My bibliographies are good.
Oh, good, yeah. Your printer ran out of ink. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Jared, you're tall. Wow. Okay, and more centered. Yeah, right there. Yeah, good. Okay. Wait a minute. You can take a step forward. I'll adjust the camera. Second. Okay, Jared stands before you, managing attention. She's sleeping. Communicating respect non-verbally. Lee Band is texting or something. Communicating respect non-verbally. Finding friendly eyes near the front and center. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi, I'm Jared.
Hi, Jared.
So imagine with me for a minute that a 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit us right now. The ceiling would collapse on you, you would suffer life-threatening injuries, and the hospitals would be flooded with a ton of patients. So you might not be able to get instant medical care. So who's going to help you? Well, today I want to persuade you guys to support an organization that could do exactly that. And it's called Doctors Without Borders. So I'm going to share with you two reasons of why you should support this organization, 3 actions that you can take, as well as some benefits. And so Doctors Without Borders is a non-profit organization that sends volunteer healthcare workers along with medical supplies to areas that are in need of medical attention. So whenever there's like a natural disaster, wars, or disease outbreaks, they're often the first people to send able bodies. And so the first reason why you should support Doctors Without Borders is because they're privately funded. This means that they rely on donators like you, and it allows them to not have political ties to certain countries. This means they can go to a lot of countries that are kind of restricted, such as North Korea. The New York Times released an article in October 2011 where reporters followed doctors sent by Doctors Without Borders in North Korea. They helped these orphans who were malnourished, they needed surgery. They were able to save a lot of lives there. And I feel passionately about this because Doctors Without Borders is able to go to countries that other organizations can't. If an organization was funded by the US government, they would have a lot more difficult time to go to places like North Korea. The second reason why you should go and support Doctors Without Borders is because they use a large amount of the donations towards the cause, towards their actual services. There is a website or an organization called Charity Intelligence that rates and analyzes a lot of nonprofit organizations. They released a report in August 2015 saying that 89% of all donations go towards buying supplies and sending the volunteers. The other 10% goes towards fundraising and 1% towards management. Now, the reason why I feel passionately about this is because I want to know that my money is actually going to go towards the cause. I don't want the money to go towards someone's pocketbook to help a CEO buy a Lamborghini or something like that. And so be rest assured in knowing that every dollar that you give, 89 cents of that is going to go towards buying supplies, sending volunteers, and saving lives. And now here are 3 actions that you can take. Number 1, go visit their website online. They have a ton of awesome videos that gives a face to the people that they're actually helping. It shows some of the research that they're doing about new diseases and whatnot. It'll really compel you to want to be a part of this organization. The second thing you can do is donate money. And I know as a college student, we're poor, we don't have a lot to give, but every dollar matters. $10 can save 10 kids from malaria. And they accept monthly donations as well as single transactions. And the final step that you can take is to educate other people. Spread the word about Doctors Without Borders because it's privately funded. Let people know the good things that this organization is doing, as well as they can also help and donate. And so when you complete these steps, one of the benefits that you'll receive is the gratitude of knowing that you're feeding the hungry, you're curing the diseased, you're giving hope to the hopeless. And so, in summary, I've given you 2 reasons why you should support Doctors Without Borders. I've given you 3 actions that you can take, as well as some benefits. There shouldn't be any doubt in this room that you should go and donate and support today. And if you remember the earthquake that I mentioned earlier, it's going to be a reality soon. We sit on the San Andreas Fault, and we could very well experience that tomorrow. So how awesome would it be that when you're in the rubble, you will be saved by the organization that you supported today. Thank you.
413.
Hello, I'm Monique.
Hi, Monique.
Hey, Jared, I liked your speech. The only thing, if you saw me giggling, I was listening very intensely, but the only thing was that, like, in the beginning and the end, when you were talking about that earthquake, you were like, imagine there was an earthquake, and all of it falls on our heads right now, and at the end. So about that earthquake, and it was just kind of like, I don't know, maybe that's just how you talk, because I love how you give speeches, but I guess it was just like kind of
smiling during an earthquake.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like a disconnect of like the emotion you want us to feel.
The verbal and the
So
nonverbal,
overall, great speech.
Okay, thank you. Lee Van, let's hear what you have to say to help him grow or improve.
I was going to do so I can give it a positive. I think you kept it pretty upbeat, other than the fact that it was a pretty sad topic. The topic in the intro, but I really didn't know too much about Doctors Without Borders. I think you kind of tied the reasons the way you did it, going reason 1 and 2, and you made it a little sticky, and kind of the reason why you really want to support Doctors Without Borders. So I think you did a really good job.
Okay, thank you, Lee Ban. Well, Jared, yeah. Gosh. Yeah, I was struck by when you watch yourself tonight on YouTube, you will see you're a very pleasant guy. You have a great smile. You're very likable. That's great. But be careful about when you're giving a serious topic and not smiling in the wrong spots. Personally, I didn't. I'm probably wrong, but I don't really think Doctors with Borders are going to be whipping around Ronald Reagan Hospital. Could be wrong, but you were trying to make it vivid for us, something we could relate to here. My understanding is they're mostly international and they're mostly out of the country. Maybe they do some domestic stuff, but you were making it show that first responder and getting help, and so that was good. A little quibble, no big deal, but that was my first reaction to that. Your sixth statement, you said they really need money, and you were trying to sell the speech that way, that they really need money, and so you were appealing to people's, I guess, altruism to give money, right? That was your appeal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
to be able to go to specific
countries, yeah. Okay, your first reason is that they're privately funded and they go to places like North Korea, and I wasn't so sure that North Korea made for a compelling place that this audience cares about so much. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but that's the one you chose. For the risk of sounding crude, I think there are some juicier places that Doctors with Borders have been involved in besides North Korea, etc. Another quibble for you. On your second reason, I thought it was very powerful that they don't buy Lamborghinis and that the money gets to the people. And this is a good group. There's no question about it. You gave them concrete actions to take, which was basically to give money, basically, and to read about it and so forth. And you gave them benefits, and then you tied back to Reagan. What I didn't get in this whole speech from Jared was I sat puzzling and wondering why Jared cared. Do you give money? Do you serve with Doctors with Borders? Do you volunteer? What's your angle in this? I didn't get that. Was this just an intellectual exercise? You went down the list and went, I got to do this GD exercise on persuasion. Doctors with Borders. I'll give a persuasive speech on it. And so I would like to have heard your connection in a personal, emotional sort of way. I would like to have heard that you give money, or you serve the poor, or you're planning to become a medical doctor, or this is a life's work that you're planning, or something. I think that would have made the speech more compelling for me. As far as the other sticky components, it was simple enough. What did you have in here that was unexpected, that you felt really grabbed the audience?
Well, I thought the fact that they would go to North Korea would be pretty unexpected, because not too many people, you don't hear many people actually being able to cross the border and helping orphans over there.
Okay.
As well as the statistics of 89% of the
Of those, so those were the two unexpected things. Okay, and let's look at your goals real quick. Where are they?
Bottom of the front page.
The front page. The bottom. You wanted to have a good transition to your thesis, return to your hook at the end, and provoke emotion. How'd it go?
Well, I guess emotionally, I didn't give like a my own emotion to connect with other people's emotion.
Right.
I thought like the stories would do that.
Would evoke it just because they have an emotional element to it. Okay. Well, you did a good job, Jared. You got the job done, but there were elements of things that you could have done to make it more sticky, and you can read it, listen to it tonight on YouTube, and think about some of the things I said. Thank you, Jared. Okay, that will bring us to Chandler Massey. Okay, no Chandler. Okay, we'll bring him back from the dead. That will bring us to, the last name is Lee, L-I. Q-U-A-N-H-U-A.
Q-I-A-N.
Q-I-A-N. Okay, also known as Sarah. Okay, Sarah, I do have to adjust the camera for you. Take a step forward, please, Sarah.
Forward?
Yeah, forward. Yeah, forward for sure. Sarah stands before you, managing attention, eating, communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes in the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, many dietitians from all over the world have stressed the importance of breakfast. Though in recent years some objections have been put forward, it is true that the morning is the beginning of a day and a breakfast is the beginning of the morning. So I think having breakfast is important. However, nowadays, many people, especially the young, often miss their breakfast. I think this is a bad habit, so today I want to persuade you to have a breakfast every day. I will give you 2 reasons and some concrete actions and benefits that will follow if you adopt my proposal. In 2003, Rosalind Ryan, a journalist of the health column of Daily Mail Online in the UK, said, "Breakfast could save your life." I agree with her, and I think that having breakfast not only keeps you energetic, but also is good to your health. The first reason that I want you to have a breakfast every day is that it will make you active and be able to think and work efficiently in the morning. My support for this is that in 2014, a research carried out by the University of Bath found that people who ate breakfast were more physically active in the morning compared with those who didn't. And in addition, my brother suffers from stomachache because he was used to missing breakfast for about 5 years. Every time his stomach aches, he is very regretful, and he now doesn't dare to skip any breakfast, lunch, or dinner now. So I think having breakfast is very important. It will wake up your body and fill every cell in your body with energy, which makes you active and able to think and work efficiently in the morning. The second reason that I want you to have a breakfast every day is that it will keep you in good health. My support for this is that in 2014, research carried out by scientists at Oxford, Cambridge, and other famous universities in the UK found that the regular consumption of breakfast, especially involving the consumption of cereal, could help protect against the early development of the type 2 diabetes risk. I think having breakfast is essential for staying in good health. To strengthen our bodies, we squeeze time to do sports in the gym, and we spend money on expensive health products. So why don't we just squeeze
half an hour in the morning and spend a few dollars having a breakfast in the morning. So third, I will give you some concrete actions that you might take. First, no matter how busy you are, just squeeze 20 minutes in the morning to have a breakfast. Second, try to have a breakfast before 10 a.m., which will help you develop a regular diet. 3, try to have a nutritious breakfast. Milk, eggs, oatmeal, and some wheat bread and fruits are all good choice. When you have performed this, you will find that you are active in the morning and you are able to think and work more efficiently. More importantly, once you form the habit of having breakfast every day, you are closer to a good health. In summary, I have shown you 2 reasons why you should have a breakfast every day and some actions and benefits that will follow. There should be no doubt in this room that you should have a breakfast every day. The morning is the beginning of a day and a breakfast is the beginning of the morning. So get yourself on a schedule with a healthy breakfast and you are ready to take on the world. That's all. Thank you.
413.
I'm Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn.
I liked how you followed the structure really closely, so it made it really easy to follow. And then how you incorporated your own stories, like about your brother, and you also walked nicely. It was a very natural walk.
Okay, thank you, Jocelyn. Improvement?
Hi, I'm Candace.
Hi, Candace.
Your speech is very well, and you made eye contact with the left and right side, but I can't. You don't look at me though.
She doesn't like you. She hates you, Candace.
No.
Just kidding. Yeah, okay, so you want to love all your children equally and make eye contact everywhere. Sarah, let's talk about your speech. Yeah, it was pretty much textbook perfect in terms of having, a introduction that grabbed people and drew them in. You talked about breakfast and you tied back to that, and you had your thesis preview, and you quoted a good nutritionist and gave the date of saying that you even said could save your life. So you even found a juicy quote for your significance statement. So we're going to save our lives if we eat breakfast. So that was pretty good. Your first reason from the year 2014, people are more physically active. And then you gave a personal story of your brother. I'm going to come back to that in just a moment when I talk about ways that you still could have made this speech more sticky. On your second reason, your Oxford study from 2014 linking to type 2 diabetes was excellent. Your concrete actions were perfect. Summary, conclusion, and tie back were all fine. You said more vocal variety, speak louder, and proper gestures. How did it go?
I tried to speak louder and slower when I want to stress something, and I think I actually speak louder this time than the last speech, and I try to have more various gestures instead of just doing
this.
one.
Yeah, good. Well, let me tell you what I think Sarah would make this speech stickier. Of the 6 elements we talked about, 3 come to mind. First off, another story, not just about your brother, but about you. I'd like to know about Sarah. Do you eat breakfast? Does it help you? I don't know. But I'm interested in you, Sarah. And it's typical. I get this from a lot of foreign students. They keep it real impersonal. They never share themselves. And I don't like that. So I'd like to hear more about you. You eat breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell us. Did you not used to, and then it was bad, and then you changed? So tell us a story. So, there's more stories, and a little more emotion. I was very worried about my brother. He was going to get ulcers. Some more emotion, because let's face it, eating breakfast isn't exactly, bulimia or a really emotional kind of a story to get worked up about. So it's kind of a tricky, tough thing. What was unexpected in here, Sarah?
Unexpected? Maybe just the breakfast could save your life in the significant statement.
Yeah, and save your life. Okay. Remember to always check the 6 things and make sure you have them all in your speech to make sure they're sticky. You did a nice job, Sarah. Thank you. Okay, that will bring us to...
Me, I'm anticipating.
Well, I don't know. Let me look. See... Brianna, then Grayson. Are you
Yes,
Grayson?
I am.
Well, praise the Lord. Anticipation. Very good. Okay, Grayson stands before you. Moo. I gotta adjust the camera. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, it's good. Managing attention. She's reading. Communicating respect non-verbally. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi, I'm Grayson.
Hi, Grayson.
So imagine surgery followed by chemotherapy and radiation on your face and body that could cause unsightly scars and even permanent disfiguration. This is what happens when you don't protect yourself. I think wearing sunscreen is really very important because it can not only cause things like sunburns in everyday life, but it can also cause things like skin cancer and things that can really dramatically alter your life. I'm going to give 2 reasons that you should wear sunscreen every day. So my first reason is that sunscreen protects not only your body currently, but your health in the future. So when you wear sunscreen, you're preventing your body to be affected by the sun's deadly UV rays. When you get sunburned, you're permanently damaging your skin. And when you damage your skin, it is irreversible, meaning it cannot be undone and cannot be changed. So over time, your body will start to build up all this damage. And this damage can lead to things like skin cancer and melanomas, which are very, very serious and are even deadly. In 2012, Huffington Post said that skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in the United States. And last year alone, 9,000 people died from it in the U.S., just in the U.S. Think about how many other developed countries where people are spending lots of time in the sun and getting tan and are not wearing sunscreen. That's a whole lot of people in the world dying. Additionally, and this is really applicable to you guys, individuals, especially under the age of 25, are 3 times more likely to be damaged by the sun. And all this damage will add up and turn into problems later in your life, such as melanoma. The second reason I'm going to tell you to wear sunscreen is to prevent premature aging. And I know, ladies, this is semi-targeted to you, but it's really true. So the sun's UV rays are not only accountable for 80% of wrinkles, they also cause sunspots. Sunspots are areas of either a lack of pigmentation or hyperpigmentation and splotchy areas on your skin that can cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for treatments or even surgical removals. So if this doesn't hit close to home because of all the money you could be spending to protect your healthy skin, I don't know what does. So sunscreen is also really very important because as you age, when you have had a life of advanced sun exposure, meaning that all of this sun exposure is added up in your skin, will start to become fragile, dry, thin, it will lack fullness, and also your elasticity is greatly affected. And the UV rays from the sun, when you're not protected from sunscreen, damages the elasticity in your skin, which is a direct cause of wrinkles. And elasticity in your skin is really very much associated with youthfulness and a beautiful complexion. So wear sunscreen not only to protect yourself from skin cancer and these unsightly pigmentation issues and sunburns, but also because, I don't know, 20, 40 years from now, you could look 20 years younger than your peers if you protect yourself. Lastly, I'm going to give you 3 actions that you can take to protect yourself against sun exposure. Firstly, wear sunscreen every day. I wear sunscreen every day, and I have seen a tremendous impact on my skin. My skin has become clearer, less splotchy. If you ever struggled or suffered with acne, it makes such a tremendous impact. Even if you're not wearing sunscreen on your entire body, simply wearing it on your face, neck, and shoulders, where the sun has the greatest impact, will really make a difference. Second, if you're contemplating spending a lot of time in the sun on a particular day, cover all of your exposed areas with broad spectrum sunscreen. Because broad spectrum sunscreen not only protects you from UVA, but it also protects you from UVB rays, all of which are associated with skin cancer and burning. Lastly, I know it's a pain, but when you're wearing sunscreen, you really should apply it and reapply it every 2 hours, because it wears off. And even though when you see something that says SPF 15 or SPF 30, those numbers tell you how many times longer you can be in the sun without actually being burned, it still makes a difference on your reapplying levels, because if you don't reapply it, then the sunscreen cannot work to its full effect. So I gave you 2 reasons why you should really think about wearing sunscreen. I also told you some benefits and how it has affected me in my personal life, and some easy and nearly effortless actions that you can take to really change your life. Don't find yourself in an operating room 20 years from now or with skin that seems older than you are. Start now protecting yourself and wear sunscreen.
Thank you. 507.
Oh, yikes.
Hi, I'm Ori.
Hi, Ori.
I like your topic because, like, I don't want wrinkles. But also, I think the facts are really good, and I like that you didn't really go, like, the super, like, sciencey route. You got more of, like, the appealing to actually your audience.
Super sciencey route. Okay. Rita. Improvement.
Well, I don't know what to improve. I just think she speaks just like those remarkable speakers in the past.
What'd she say?
She's like TED Talks.
Oh, the TED Talk. She was a model. Okay, good. Well, let me give you some feedback, Grayson. You started with a horrible image. You returned to it. So that was a good grabber. You had a simple message. You know, a simple message. Wear sunscreen. So it wasn't complicated. That was good. You, as Ori put it, you weren't real scientific, and you just said you're just going to ruin your skin. And this is well known, so you didn't really have to give us such documentation. You did have your all over 12, and you did have a bibliography. Yeah, right, yeah. And it's good to have, you know, the citation in there to say that, you know, I did some research, but, you know, most of it is known to people, so it wasn't super necessary. On the premature aging, you said this is mainly for ladies. Yeah, maybe. I see more and more guys really paying attention to this nowadays, too. On your actions, I thought they were excellent. I thought broad spectrum sunscreen maybe needed a quick definition so people knew what it meant.
So that was the protect against the UV and UVB.
UV and UV. and then you got just a little overtime, and let's see what your goals were. Move 3 points, make the time limit, and don't talk too fast. How'd it go?
Well, I definitely moved, which was something that I had been struggling with before. And
Yeah.
I was also struggling on hitting with the time limit.
Yeah.
So I may have been a little overdramatic and went way too far over the time limit.
Yeah. When you practice, you need to do some editing, and I would have edited in your reasoning and how you feel, and your first and second reasons is where you could have picked up the time more. That's where you really went long. As far as making it more sticky, I thought you had good personal examples, and I felt there was kind of an emotional undertone here. I thought there was a passion that you did care about it, and that was good. The credibility was pretty good of the speech. Just one question. What was unexpected that you designed into the speech that was designed to perk up your audience, to grab them and make them want to listen?
Well, I didn't know that if you're under 25, like pretty much all of the skin damage that you can acquire from the sun happens then. So I thought that was pretty unexpected. And also that 9,000 people died last year. It was kind of like that little quote information part, but it's just kind of
when you have those things that you think are unexpected, stress them to the audience so they really, zing and sing out and that sort of thing. Otherwise, you did a good job, Grayson. Thank you. Okay, that will bring us to, that was Grayson. That brings us to Amanda.
Sorry, I didn't have time to stay put.
Oh, what a tragedy. Thank you. She stands before you managing attention. I hear talking. Communicating respect non-verbally. Finding friendly eyes near the front and center. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda.
Ooh, sorry. Hi Amanda. Let's start again because you're not on the camera.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. And start your speech.
Okay. So, according to the American Heart Association, as of June 2011, approximately 70% of Americans would not be adequate to act in the event of a cardiac emergency. And this is due to either not being trained or having elapsed training. Today, I would like to persuade you all to get trained in basic aid. I will give you 2 reasons to do so, along with some actions you can take and benefits you'll receive if you choose to follow this track. So that statistic I mentioned earlier, 70% is a huge amount of people, especially because cardiac emergencies or any other medical emergencies in that matter could happen at any moment. Plus, people don't need to show symptoms to either have a condition or even not have a condition. So, the first reason that you should get trained in basic first aid is because medical emergencies they can happen.
Prepares you for a wide variety of accidents.
Prepares you for a wide variety of different medical emergencies. So my reasoning for this is I actually taught basic first aid for the Red Cross for 5 years, and seeing the kids going in not knowing anything about basic aid training and having them come out knowing the basics of CPR or how to deal with broken limbs was a huge deal. We even covered topics such as water safety, environmental safety, and natural disasters. I feel this way about the issue because when I was really young, I went bike riding with my swim team and actually fell on my ankle, which put a fracture in my femur. And we had no idea what to do about it, and if some of us had been trained in first aid, we would have known to support the break and elevate my leg for proper blood flow until I got to the hospital. The second reason that you should get trained in basic aid is that you may be saving a loved one. So according to the American Heart Association, again in June 2011, 4 out of 5 cardiac emergencies happen at home. This could mean you saving your parents, your children, grandparents. So I feel this way about the situation because when I was 2 years old, my great aunt died because of a heart attack. Now, if someone had been there to give proper CPR or had known how to do CPR, this could have doubled or tripled her chances of living. So third, I'd like to give you 3 actions that you can take. The first is to get trained in basic aid. You can sign up for classes through the American Red Cross, through the American Heart Association, or many other organizations. The second thing you can do is to volunteer to teach classes like I did or help organize classes so more people can be informed and be prepared. The third thing you can do is to educate others on the importance of getting training for themselves. So, being trained in basic first aid, you can feel so much better about yourself knowing that if someone needs help, you could potentially give them that medical care they need. Calling 911 is a great step and is a necessary step. However, doing something until the medical personnel arrive at the scene could save a life. So, in summary, I have told you 2 reasons that you should get basic first aid trained, as long as giving you some actions and benefits that go along with it. So, even though 70% of Americans apparently would not be able to give assistance during a cardiac event, if we all get basic aid trained and tell others, our friends, family, to get basic aid true, we can decrease that 70%. Thank you.
Thank you. That was 406. We're somewhere here.
Hi, I'm Emily.
Hi, Evelyn.
I love your speech. You have many statistics and also your personal stories to relate to it and good structures.
Easy to follow, good statistics, good personal stories. Improvement.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Hi, Linda.
In the introduction, you use references to grab our attention, and you use personal stories, and I think it's great. But as for improvements, when you say the statistics, I think you can tell us the specific date. Yeah, and can you teach me the basic AIDS knowledge?
Okay, those are fair comments. Let's talk about your speech, Amanda. You started with this 70% quote, and it was your big grabber, and this was according to the American Heart Association, June 2011. So it's pretty recent, and it wasn't 2015, but it was still pretty recent, and so that was good. And so you're trying to grab people and saying, hey, none of us are really prepared for an emergency. And so I think that was a good grabber and a good beginning. What I thought was a little tricky was you said, I want to persuade you to get trained in basic aid. And I thought basic aid needed an immediate definition right then. Basic aid, is that CPR?
I explained it a little later on, but I should have put it earlier.
Right? It needed to come right then. Okay. Basic aid. So that was a little bit confusing as to what it was, because frankly, I've had numerous speeches in the last 40 years of people advocating people just do CPR only.
Right.
And not basic aid, just do CPR. So go figure. Your sixth statement was good. You stumbled a little on your first reason. You used personal examples from your life that said it was good. You talked about breaking your ankle and your femur, was it? And something that wasn't compelling. I would have liked to have had a little more emotion. It hurt like hell. I was in great pain. Put more drama into the thing, into the story. But that was okay. That worked. You don't have to have a statistic and a fact for every piece of support. Your own experience is valuable support. On the second reason, your support for this is the American Heart Association, again in 2011, and I think that you're saying to stress it with your voice more, that when it was happening, so that we really know the date of it. That it happens at home, and stressed out with your voice. Most of this, it doesn't happen at school, it doesn't happen at Denny's, it happens at home. And then you gave the example of your great aunt, and that was a good bringing it home, and you got good emotions going there. Your actions were good, although I would criticize you slightly. Your text says the more specific that you can make them. Take a basic training class and be prepared. Basic training class? Where do I go? Who do I talk to? Do they have it at UCLA? Do they have it at UC Santa Barbara? Where do I go? To the Red Cross? I don't know. You don't know. You don't tell me. We're all sitting here kind of wondering, say.
I thought I said Red Cross and American Heart, but maybe I didn't.
Well, you need to say it right then and there in that very part. And then your benefits were good. I like that. And your tie back and was all good to the 70%. I like that. You walked 3 times. I would still say watch your walk. You're still you're still not as graceful as I would like you to be in your walk. I'm still watching you walk instead of just having you glide across the room, is what I prefer you work toward. Make personal eye contact. Don't let memorization of certain lines prevent a smooth speech. And this is the tension between memorizing and delivering it extemporaneously. So how did it go?
I think I was good about eye contact this time. I looked at certain people and kind of held it. Obviously, I forgot one of my lines, which was one of the main lines. But I mean, I kind of kept going and took the rest of the speech and had it. So.
Okay. In designing a sticky speech, I sound like a broken record, but what did you think was unexpected in the speech, or what did you put in that you thought made it unexpected?
I think the statistics about America not being as prepared as most people would think, or the fact that it happens at home maybe is kind of a shocker to some people.
Okay, and I think that it was not too abstract. I think it was concrete. I think your message was simple. I think the credibility could have been enhanced just a little bit with a few more statistics and citations, but I think overall you did an excellent job. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to, how's our time? Yeah, we have time for another one. Yeah, of course we have time for many more. Okay, that brings us to, is that the last C? Any more C's? Okay, now we're back to the A's. Okay, has Jocelyn gone? Hello, Jocelyn?
Yeah, she went.
She went? Good. Okay, how about Sierra? Yes. And Q Gao?
Yes.
Yes. And Christiana? Yes. Is there a faster way to do this? Who's left? 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Okay, here we go. He needs to borrow my green stapler. Let me see where you are in here. PQR. Yeah, there you are. Oh, you're a B.
Yeah.
B. Okay, good. Okay, let's do you in blue. Okay, one little bit that way, please, Kent. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Kim. Battery's dead. So, chat with her, ask her how her weekend was and all that.
Logan, how's the weekend?